Police have launched a murder investigation after a man was stabbed to death in northwest London with another 6 people knifed overnight in the capital. Scotland Yard said officers were called to reports of an injured man at an address in Marsh Road, Pinner, at around 6 a.m. on Sunday. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene and police said enquiries were underway to identify the man and his next of kin. It comes amid another night of bloodshed in the capital with 6 more people stabbed. Police were called at 10:30 p.m. on Sunday after 2 teenagers were stabbed and a third suffered a head injury in Harrow Road, Westminster. A man in his 40s was left fighting for his life after being knifed in Dalston Lane in northeast London at about 3:15 a.m. Meanwhile, a 13-year-old boy was stabbed in St Matthew's Road, Brixton shortly before midnight. He was rushed to hospital with non-critical injuries. On the same night, shortly before 8:30 p.m., a man in his 20s was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening stab wounds after he was knifed in Barkingside High Street. No arrests have been made over the Pinner stabbing and detectives from the Homicide and Major Crime Command have been informed. A murder investigation has been launched, and police are asking anyone with information to call 101 or Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. A large section of Marsh Road has been cordoned off, with a number of police officers in attendance. Any resident described Pinner as lovely, but said she was not shocked by the news as such incidents are happening in all areas. Mary McNamara, who has lived in the area for 4 years, said, "We all see what's going on generally, and such crime seems to be happening in all areas." She said, "It's happening every day. Nobody does anything about it. The government are doing nothing about it. All they do is fight about Brexit." There have been 29 deaths classed as homicides in London so far this year. On Friday night, a 17-year-old boy was stabbed to death outside a block of flats. Police arrived just after 10:30 p.m. to reports of a fight and found a teenage boy dying in the street. Paramedics battled in vain, and the teen was pronounced dead at the scene in Isleworth, West London. Another murder investigation has been launched, and no arrests have yet been made. Earlier this month, Nathaniel Armstrong, the cousin of Good Morning Britain weatherman Alex Beresford, was knifed to death in Fulham. He was murdered outside a property on the same street that Crime Watch presenter Jill Dando was shot dead outside her home 20 years ago. Jodie Chesney, in Harold Hill, East London, and Youssef Mackey, in Greater Manchester, both 17, were stabbed to death during one violence-filled weekend earlier this month. It comes as Chancellor Philip Hammond has announced a £100 million funding package to tackle Britain's knife crime crisis.